All right, you guys, good morning. This is the second time I'm filming this video because we're in Mercury retrograde and everything goes wrong. So good morning. How was your day today so far? I've got a cup of cold tea here. I need to refresh it. So we have kind of an in-between day. We're technically in Virgo for most of the day. Let me pull up these times again because what I had, oh my gosh, I don't know. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at astroseek.com. When I was filming before, I was telling you that it's really important to always check and make sure that it's in the correct time zone. And sure enough, it wasn't, even though I swear I changed it. So the real void of course time for the East Coast is 14:45. See, I thought that. Okay, so that's 2:45 p.m. So for the morning, we're still in Virgo, and then we're going to go into void of course from 2:45 p.m. until, what is that? 14, 15, 16, 17, 2, 3, 4, 5 p.m. So 5:03 is when, yeah, so this is all wrong. Okay, 5:03 p.m. is when we're moving into Libra, technically. Again, that's on the East Coast, so it'll be a little bit later if you're Central or, gosh, so the time I had first was correct. Oh, well, okay, so... So we're kind of an in-between day where we're, for the evening part, we'll be switching into Libra, but we're going to talk more about Libra tomorrow and just continue to talk about void of course, which is, it's an in-between time. You might not be feeling Virgo energy and you might not be feeling Libra energy, or you might be feeling both of them. It's just kind of an in-between time. Everybody looks at the void of course time differently. Some people say to like not do anything during that time, not to plan anything, not to do anything, at least in a way that you normally would. Like, for example, for Virgo, we want to be planning, but maybe it's not a good idea to be doing that during void of course time. That's up to you. See how you feel about it. Mark it in your mood tracker. There we might get to a point, but of having void of course times in the planner, but I mean, look at, like, this is a lot. It's a lot of information. I would have to copy that by hand, and it's getting the moon phases in there is enough work as it is. So if any of you really smart people out there know of the best way to do that, I would love to do it, because otherwise I do everything by hand and the planner takes a really long time to make, and that's why I don't know. Anyway, so I also wanted to talk about the moon rising and set times. So this is timeanddate.com. I really love this website. It's nice that it has all of this information on here. I'm filming it on the 19th, but we want to look at the 22nd for today. So the moon doesn't rise this evening until 10:14 p.m., which is actually around the same time that it's moving into Libra. So you probably won't be able to see it above your house until about midnight tonight. And I just like to point that out because it's going to get later and later in the evening until it's eventually in the wee morning hours, as you can see here. And as we're getting closer to the new moon, the moon gets closer to the sunrise time as well. So if we were to check the sunrise time, would be guessing that it is around this time as well. So that's why we're not able to see it, because the moon is orbiting through the sky around the same time as the sun, and that's why we're not able to see it. However, it's also decreasing in light, so there's not that much light there as well. It's not until around the first quarter that you end up getting, you can start to see it during the day, but again, we won't start seeing it at night until it gets closer and closer to the full moon. Because the the rising time, the moon rising time is different every day. I am kind of curious if the high tide and low tide times correspond to the moonrise times as well. I'm assuming it does, but I'm not really sure about that. So yeah, just kind of an in-between day today. I chose to do Solar Plexus chakra because I'm always needing Solar Plexus energy, and I just assume that everybody else feels the same way. So we're going to be using, we've got the Solar Plexus solfeggio frequency of 528 hertz. The Solar Plexus mantra is Ram. So kind of get settled in here, and we'll do a quick mantra. Ram, 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 Ram. One thing that I've noticed doing these mantras every day is even though it's like really brief and quick, like what does that take, like 3 minutes to do it? I've noticed that like the thoughts that arise while I'm reciting the mantra often are thoughts related to that chakra. So the thoughts that were arising in my head were surrounding self-confidence, and that's just something that I wanted to bring up to bring attention to just kind of maybe make note of anything that you might be running through your mind while you're reciting the mantras, because I think that gives us an opportunity to notice those thoughts and deal with whatever those messages are that might arise. Yes, so I did want to pick a Solar Plexus chakra card for us today. Unlimited prosperity. This card comes up a lot, especially doing readings online. So I always want to point out about this card, prosperity is not, and abundance is not necessarily money. It can be, but this is talking about energy in general, being able to give and receive energy. So money is energy, and we hold a precious choice whether to prevent it or encourage its flow. Are your channels for giving and receiving open wide enough? Do you allow the vibration of prosperity to radiate both from you and toward you? Reflect on your resources and how you can use them to create more abundance for both yourself and those around you. Remember also to give back with an open heart for all that is coming your way. Give thanks before you receive. The crystal they recommend is yellow fluorite, and basil is the herb, and basil is also a really wonderful herb to work into prosperity spells as well. So check out the timeanddate.com. Check out the AstroSeek moon phases. The AstroSeek website particularly is so huge. So I typically, instead of trying to figure out, let me switch back over there. Instead of trying to figure out like where everything is, I mean, they have these nice tabs up here and everything, but I'm telling you, there is so much information on here. It's insane. So what I do is I just do a Google search and I say AstroSeek moon phase calendar, if that's what I'm looking for. Or like, for example, this one, I did a Google search, AstroSeek void of course, and it takes me directly to this because I have no idea. Like, it looks like the void of course is in this tab, but I don't understand why or how or where I would go to find it. What does this one look like? This one, oh, obviously looks like it's on the moon phase calendar, but why is the void of course one not under the moon phase calendar? Like, see how it's kind of like a different color than all the tabs? So I really don't understand how to find anything on here other than doing a Google search. So that's just a little tip. I mean, they have everything. Like, you can look for, I usually Google AstroSeek Venus transit, and it will bring you to a page just like this, but it's only Venus information. Or you can do for the entire year, the planet transits for the entire year, but I always do a Google search, AstroSeek 2021 planetary transits, and so I do a search for exactly what you're looking for. They might know. I don't see a search bar within their website. So I just recommend using Google and typing in whatever you're looking for and AstroSeek. So that's just a little tip. I love those websites. I'm checking them all the time. Yeah, I guess have a nice day. We will see you tomorrow for Libra energy.